Hello and welcome to another update. In this one, we'll be covering the Zaporizhzhia front as the Russian forces have started a general offensive in the direction of Oryhiv. And forgive me if I pronounce these wrong, and you can comment down below if I should correct myself. As these are new villages, we'll start out with the Russians attacking Malatukmachka, Novodanilivka, Novoandrivka, Melisherbeki, and Stepove. As the Russian forces attempt to take control over these villages to the south of Oryhiv to allow them to attack Oryhiv from the south, west, and east. So the significance of Oryhiv itself is it's the main supply hub for the Ukrainian forces on this front line. If we look at the supply lines as well, and we know that because the Ukrainian forces receive their supplies through the railways towards Zaporizhzhia, and from these we see them sending their equipment and supplies and reinforcements through the highways. From that we can see that Zaporizhzhia is the main area where the supplies are going to be placed, and then they'll run down the highway to Kamyanske, Oryhiv, and Hulyaipole. If they cut off Oryhiv, then Hulyaipole will have a much longer supply line, and it will cut off direct supplies to Oryhiv and Hulyaipole, so they'll have to go all the way around. And finally, the Russian forces can use that as the main supply route for a further invasion towards Zaporizhzhia. At the same time, we know that if the Russian forces manage to capture this highway, currently the weather is muddy, so the Ukrainian forces can't traverse through the fields to counterattack the Russian forces, which means that the only way for Ukraine to counteract this offensive is to send troops to Oryhiv or to counterattack from Kamyansk towards Vasilivka. However, this is difficult as the Russian forces have prepared defenses on the whole Zaporizhzhia line. So the current focus of the Russian forces is to attack in the direction of Oryhiv, and they will be attacking from the east, south, and the west. With this, we know that the Russian forces are going to be using the highways as they cannot traverse through the fields as the fields are muddy. With this, we see that the Russian forces will be focusing on attacking all of these areas within the highway. And I've just said that the fields are muddy 5 times, so the reason they are attacking from the south is most likely that these are not coupled with heavy machinery. They'll most likely have their tanks and armored vehicles from the west, and then they will be using artillery and foot soldiers mainly here in the Melisherbeki area, which would indicate that they are planning a serious offensive, as it would require them to take Stepove before actually storming Melisherbeki, and this is most likely just positional fighting. The same with Novoandrivka. However, Novodanilivka as well as Malatukmachka are most likely actual fights, as these are connected to a highway that goes straight to Oryhiv, while these are more difficult. Or it could also be a fight straight from the roads towards these areas. Because it's a short distance, they may be able to properly traverse through them, but I'm not exactly sure how the ground is exactly. It is only a qualified guess. And then finally, there is some reports of fighting in the direction of Melinivka as well, which is a military hub for the Ukrainian forces next to Hulyaipole. It works sort of as an outpost. So with the Russian forces capturing Melinivka, they would be able to attack Hulyaipole from the east as well with this road that goes between these two areas. And they will have an easier time attacking the villages to the east of Hulyaipole if they manage to capture Melinivka. And that's going to be all for this update. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.